Hello everyone. I'm talking a bit quieter than usual because it is very early in the morning and the whole house is asleep. I'm doing a video I very much stole from another teen writer. He's Evan L. Rodriguez. He's a good friend of mine. He did a video where he sorted his characters into Hogwarts houses, and it was so entertaining and so much fun that I knew I had to do it. Took a while. So I'm gonna be taking the Pottermore test as my characters to see which Hogwarts house they fall into. I kind of already guess which Hogwarts house you're gonna be in because I know them. The information about me, Harry Potter series, not a big fan. Love the movies, but the books, I like the beginning of the series. The end, not so much. If y'all wanted to know which house I'm in, I'm a Slytherin. I love my Slytherin house. I love everything that the values stand for. Let's just get started. I do think that the 4 characters I'm going to choose, that they're all from different houses, and on top of that, I am going to be doing only characters from one country in my fantasy story. I wanted to start out with one of the main characters, Mahalia Espina. This character actually has a bit of a backstory. I tried to film this video twice, and I had some horrific technical problems. So I already know which house she goes in because I did it twice. So there's not going to be a prediction because I would spoil it. Dawn or dusk? Is Mahalia a night owl or a morning bird? I know what her brother. I would say that she's a night owl, honestly. A troll. Okay. A troll has gone berserk in the headmaster's study at Hogwarts. It is about to smash, crush, and tear several irreplaceable items and treasures. In which order would you rescue these objects from the Trolls Club? I remember doing this from the 2 things already. First thing she would choose is the newly perfected cure for dragons. I would presume that that's like the only one, or if it's newly perfected, then that would mean like they're doing a specific study at Hogwarts for it. I do think that she would be interested in the handwritten book full of strange runes, just so that she could know what it is. Cure, runes, and then the record. You enter an enchanted garden. What would you be most curious to examine? But this is going to be interesting. A statue of an old wizard with a strangely twinkling eye. Probably that one. As an artist, she would just be admiring it. If you're attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take with you? Last time with this question, I actually had a hard time because Mahalia is practical, but she's also a cat person. She has multiple cats in the book, actually. I think it was this one. I don't know cat breeds. It's kind of ratty looking. Which of the following would you most hate people to call you? Oh, I already know this. Ignorant. Which of the following would you most like to study? Is there an all of them option? I'm going to frame it in the point of view as in the world of La Divina. It's the setting of my book. Mahalia's family crest actually has a mermaid on it, and she hates the crest. It looks disgusting. So she would not be excited about mer people because mer people are like normal. I feel like she would want to talk to ghosts in like a weird Frankenstein way, because you know how in Frankenstein he was like drunk with power and curiosity that it ruined him. I feel like this would be the thing where like Mahalia is trying to like defy death. Which nightmare would frighten you most? Mahalia doesn't remember her dreams. I don't think she's afraid of heights. Live in Amihana. There's mountains everywhere. An eye in the keyhole of the dark, windowless room in which you are locked. Oh, Mahalia doesn't care. Whatever. Probably try to make conversation with that eye. When she speaks, she like over enunciates her words because she's very concerned about communicating herself clearly. So I would think that this one, because this could actually be a thing where it could happen to her, where she's talking and she doesn't realize that her voice sounds weird because she can't hear herself. So this is very real for her. So that one. Gryffindor. I have always identified her as a Ravenclaw, but she's a Gryffindor. In what world is she a Gryffindor? She's so freaking selfish. I don't know what to do now. Should I call her a Gryffindor now? She doesn't feel like a Gryffindor. She's not a Gryffindor. Maybe she's a combination of the both. Mahalia is a Gryffindor. I thought she was going to be a Ravenclaw. That's just Mahalia, surprising everyone. I think he's gonna be in Hufflepuff. He's like next in line to become the head Datu. In La Divina, it's like a guard for a soldier. Head is obviously the top. So he's like next in line, but it's not official, but it's like on the down low. He's very smart at military and fighting. I do think that he is going to get Hufflepuff though, because he very much values fair play and honesty. If he doesn't get Hufflepuff, he's going to end up getting Slytherin or something. I'm going to be shook. Let's start. Moon or the stars? I actually made a religious myth revolving the moon and the stars. So I'm framing it in the state of mind of that story that Cordero would know. It's like a folktale that everyone knows. Everyone's told it when they're a kid. He would choose the moon because we love a feminist icon. Once every century, the flutterby bush flowers that adapters sent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, it would smell of the sea. Cordero lives on a freaking island. He knows what the sea smells. Home. The home would smell like the sea. A crackling log fire. The only time Cordero's made of fire is when he's worked the sea or home. Oh, he lives in a port city, so like the sea is the home. I would say the sea, because overall the sea does smell better than a dirty city. What are you most looking forward to learning at Hogwarts? Getting in the most amount of trouble he probably could. He would be most excited about the flying on a broomstick, because he is all for being outside and fresh winter's here. How would you like to be known to history? The humble, probably. The great, the wise, the bold, the good. Yeah, the good. If you were attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take? Cordero's also like a cat person. Yeah, he would choose another cat just like his sister. Wait, he actually has a cat. Not the one that they share, but that he has. His cat is like some fancy breed. Why does the white cat have a black background? Which would you rather be? You would want to be trusted. Which nightmare would frighten you the most? Cordero actually does remember his nightmares, unlike Mahalia. Being forced to speak in such a silly voice that hardly anyone... No. Cordero would probably make a joke out of it or brush it off. He loves people, he trusts people, and he would be absolutely devastated if they forgot about it. Cordero's a messy eater. If he wears white, he's gonna stain all over his shirt. He's in Hufflepuff! Woo! Following hard work, dedication, patience, loyalty, and fair play. Yeah, that's him. He's one of those people that would be really offended if he saw someone cheat on a test. He's in a very powerful position, and he's worked hard, and he sees other people working just as hard as him and not getting anywhere near. He wants to change that. That's the whole point of his art. He wants to help people. Let's get started. Forest or river? Jessica would choose a river because she always knows that a river always leads to a city. And if you're trying to get to safety at night, follow the river. You'll get to a city eventually. If you're attending Hogwarts, which pet would you choose to take with you? Probably a toad, knowing her. I like the idea of a tree toad. I feel like Jessica would just get it for the lols because of the tongue twister. They live in La Divina. There's lots of tree toads everywhere. They're not that hard to find. I wouldn't be surprised if you just went out and caught a toad and was like, okay, you're mine now. Which would you rather be? Probably either imitated or praised. Praise sounds like a hero's ending. You only get the praise when you're dead. So would she be willing to die for the praise? Definitely. If you could have any power, which would you choose? She would want to speak to animals. My novel has elemental fantasy and Jessica has earth power. So if you could control the flora and fauna, dude. Which nightmare would frighten you the most? Being forced to speak? No, she don't give a fuck. If this happened, people would be too afraid to call her out on it. Waking up to find that neither your friends nor your family have any idea of who you are, or an eye at the keyhole of the dark, windowless room in which you are locked. But I feel like she would be more scared of the dark, windowless room with an eye, because you can't try to escape if there's someone watching you, right? I don't think that this would really frighten her all that much, once I think about it. Because waking up to find that neither your friends nor your family have any idea of who you are, they're still alive, they're hopefully still healthy and breathing and living a great life just without her in the picture. And yeah, that sucks. With all the stuff that happens in the book, she would be very happy. Just a chance for the people that she loved to live. So not this one, and I'm gonna go with this one. Because I don't think she would be afraid of it, but once every century the flutterby bush produces flowers that a doctor sent to attract the unwary. If it lured you, it would smell of... Here's the thing. Jessica grew up in the same country as Cordero and Mahalia. It smells like the sea everywhere, because they live on an island. So the sea and the home are like one and the same. For this one, I think it actually would be a crackling log fire. Cordero and Blessica actually work together, and I said that Cordero would be drawn away from the crackling log fire because it reminds him of his work. I think Blessica would be the opposite. Here's a log fire, and she would be attracted to it because she wants to do something about it. Oh, this got deep. After you have died, what would you most like people to do when they hear your name? Ask for more stories about your adventures. That's cute. Think with admiration of your achievements. Wouldn't this be the same as the first one? She'd rather have more achievements done than go on adventures. She's getting stuff done. This one. Black or white? Black. She just doesn't like the color white. Gryffindor. What did I say? I said she was gonna be... Oh, she is in Gryffindor. I did say she was gonna be in Gryffindor. Okay, that makes sense. She is a Gryffindor. She does have nerve. She is very brave. Jessica is a Gryffindor. Whenever I think of Kidlat, I think of that sound that's like...
First off, let's set the record straight. I never needed you, you was trying to get a taste. Humble yourself now, don't be getting in my way. After this, R.I.P. man, that's all I gotta say. And if you thought I was finna trip on a punk ass bitch, think again, cause you wrong, I'm a boss ass bitch. And I be going 0 to 100, yeah, real quick. Better put your ass on blast, cause you thought you was slick. Tell me how you trying to put in work with that kind of dick. Claiming that you big and bad, why the shoe don't fit? I swear you players make me laugh when you do that shit. Had you a good girl and you blew that shit. I ain't mad, you the one looking stupid as shit. Who trades a dime piece for a bum ass bitch? But hey, that ain't none of my business. I'm here to make it clear, I swear God is my witness. This goes for any other man thinking that you bad. Don't ever play a female that was down for your ass. You might think you knocked me down, but watch me bounce back. How you play yourself spiffy, you ain't got no cash. Kiss my ass, this goes for all my ladies up, you feeling the same. Let's show these fuck boys how a real one play the game.
It does give you any insight into his personality. That's the one. Process of elimination. I specifically chose characters because I predicted it would be in each different house. I think Kidlat is going to be Slytherin. It's my main dude. He's a religious figure. He is called like the child of Tallow. Tallow is the god of air. The god of air is kind of like the ruler of all the other gods. Kidlat is kind of like a boss-ass bitch, right? People genuinely think that he is like a child of the gods. He does have some power, and he knows how to use it. A disadvantage he has is that he is half Tadori, which is not completely Davina. Tadori is a completely different country, and Davinas and Tadoris don't really tend to mesh well. So the fact that he is Tadori really interferes with how he handles Davina politics. Anyway, let's do Kidlat. Moon and the Stars. Stars. I told you, I made like another mythology, religion myth out of this. Based on that myth, seeing it through Kidlat's eyes, Kidlat has probably studied the story way more than any person has. And he would choose the stars. Just because of like what they are. The story. What is a question we haven't had before? 4 boxes are placed before you. Which would you try to open? A gleaming jet black box with a silver lock and key marked with the mysterious rune that you know to be the mark of Merlin. The small pewter box, unassuming and plain, with a scratch message, I would open only for the worthy. The small tortoise shell box, embellished with gold inside. No, he wouldn't care. Ornate golden casted warrants that both secret knowledge and unbearable temptation. No, he doesn't care about gold. He has plenty. He would choose this one because it looks cool. It's black. It has a lock and key. It has a mysterious thing on it. How would you like to be known into history? He should say wise, just because that's how the public should view him. But he would say great. If he were attending Hogwarts, he would choose an owl. He would not care which owl. So I'm just gonna... Screech Owl. He wouldn't know what a Screech Owl is until he brought it home. He'd be like, ugh, crap. Which road tempts you the most? The twisting, leaf-strewn path through woods. He's walked through the woods before. He would not care. The wide, sunny, grassy lane. The narrow, dark, lantern-lit alley. The cobbled streets lined with ancient buildings. Probably this one. Or this one. Who am I kidding? It's this one. He would do it just for kicks. He would probably do it on like a stupid dare. I mean, if I walk down this alley, nothing bad will happen, and then he gets mugged. Which of the following do you find most difficult to deal with? Loneliness, boredom, hunger, being ignored, cold. He has been lonely before. There was a really dark time in his life. Boredom, he's always busy. When has he ever had the chance to be bored? He has been hungry before as well. Lavina is like a tropical island, and then he's mixed, but his other mix is like from a country that's called the desert. So, like, that dude does not know what cold is. I wrote this off, but now that I think about it, I think it would be boredom because he is so busy. Is that a cause of he is just has so many responsibilities, or is it because he hates being alone with his own thoughts and he's a bit of a workaholic? I favor the latter. If you could have any power, which would you choose? If he had the power of invisibility, I don't know what he would do. He would probably just go around pranking people all day. I feel like he would want the power to read minds, because if you know what someone else is thinking, you're instantly one step ahead of them. Left or right? Kid that's left-handed. Oh, Slytherin! My homie. Yeah, I knew it. He is cunning. Yes, that mindset of protect what we have. He is very resourceful. That dude can find his way out of anything. Everything went to plan except Mahalia. I told you, I did that test like 2 times before, and every time she got Ravenclaw. I've been calling her a Ravenclaw forever. Like, she teaches art and history. Should I call her a Gryffindor or a Ravenclaw? I'm still gonna call her a Ravenclaw. She is a Ravenclaw. I'm gonna go down to my deathbed saying she's a Ravenclaw. Also, did Cordero? Oh, is he a Hufflepuff? No surprise there. Vesica, a Gryffindor. Kidlat, a Slytherin. Everything else I expected them to be. I hope that y'all got to know my characters a bit more. I love them to death, obviously. They're my babies. They're my characters, and I hope the answering these questions got you, or you were able to, like, get to know them. Again, this video is very much stolen, inspired, however you want to say it, by Evan O. Rodriguez. I will link the original below. The video that he made will be up there. My most recent video will be down here. You can subscribe to me down here in this area. I would hope so. And thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment. I love talking to y'all. Okay,